Isang pagbati na may ngiti sa aking mga labi. Naghahanap ba kayo ng makakatuwang sa pagre-review ng inyong anak? Meron yan sa DepEd. Ang ETUlay online tutorial ay libre at handog ng ating kagawaran sa pangunguna ng OUA ICTS EdTech. Ito ay isang proyektong makatutulong sa mga mag-aaral, katuwang ang mga magulang o kasama sa kani-kanilang tahanan para masagutan at maunawaan ang mga modules. Hangad din ng programang ETUlay ang matulungan ang ating mga guro sa kanilang mga blended learning classes. Ang ating ETUlay ay mula kinder hanggang senior high school. Bukod sa academics, meron din tayong mga special programs gaya ng All is Wellness, Reading and Math Remediation, Storytelling, Mommy Tech Talks, Classes sa Gramatika, Speech Class, Financial Literacy, at marami pang iba. Pinalawig din ng ETUlay ang ating Alive program para sa mga mag-aaral mula grade 1 hanggang grade 3. Gayun din ay mayroon tayong ALS program at SPED tutorials na makasisigurong makakamit ng lahat ang inclusive education. May SPED hotline na rin para sa inyong mga katanungan patungkol sa special education. Kaya, subaybayan mula Lunes hanggang Biyernes, mula 9:00 ng umaga hanggang 7:00 ng gabi ang ating ETUlay. Sa ating pagtutulungan, maiaangat natin ang bawat isa. Ating itutulay ang pagkatuto upang di mapigil ang pag-aaral ng kabataang Pilipino. Itulay natin ito, sulong edukalidad.
Mabuhay! Isang mapagpalang araw sa ating lahat. Ako ang inyong lingkod, Tutor Madge. Welcome sa ating ETUlay, ang ating libreng online tutorial na hatid ng ating kagawaran ng edukasyon, ICTS EdTech. Ang programang ito ay inaasahang makatutulong at maging karagdagang kaalaman sa mga mag-aaral mula kinder hanggang senior high school, ALS, Alive, at SPED learners. Bukod sa pagsagot ng mga modules, ang ETUlay ay may mga special programs din na siguradong aabangan ninyo araw-araw. Katuwang ang ating mga minamahal na mga magulang at guro ay maitutuloy natin ang pagkatuto. Kaya, ihanda na ang inyong module, lapis, papel o kwaderno. Ihanda rin ang isip, mata at tenga sa isa na namang makabuluhang aralin. Tayo nang matuto kasama ang inyong volunteer online tutor sa oras na ito.
Hello po, good afternoon po muli. This is your tutor Gilbert po na makakasama niyo po for this afternoon po sa another exciting lesson po ng ALS Learning Strand number 5, Understanding Self and Society. So muli, ako po si Tutor Gilbert at kasama ko po tuwing Webes or tuwing Thursday ng hapon po ay si Tutor Maria. We are from the same division po, ang SDO Les Piñas po. So, kami po ang makakasama nyo every Thursday for Alternative Learning System, Learning Strand number 5, Understanding Self and Society po. So, muli, magandang hapon po. So, before anything else, I would like to greet my our dynamic SDS, Dr. Joel Tito Recampo, ang aming ama ng division ng Les Piñas, and as well as the equally competent ASDS, Sir Juan, Mr. Juan C. Obierna. So binabati ko rin po ang aking ina or ang aming principal, ang aming nanay sa paaralan, Dr. Raquel M. Ostero, Education Program Supervisor po ng Science sa aming division. So sa aking mga katrabaho at sa lahat po ng mga mag-aaral. So magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. So for this afternoon, ipagpapatuloy po natin ang ating talakayan tungkol sa mga karapatang taglay-taglay ng mga Pilipino at ng mga tao. So nung nakaraan, nung nakaraan nating pagkikita, ating tinalakay yung mga karapatang taglay-taglay ng mga kabataan. So, bago tayo magsimula ng ating aralin for this afternoon, so let's have a quick recap. Balikan muna natin kung natatandaan nyo pa yung mga pinag-aralan natin. So, good afternoon po sa inyong lahat. So, meron po ako dito mga larawan. So, inyo pong tutukuyin kung ano yung karapatan na pinapatungkulan ng larawan na ito. So, maaari nyo pong i-type sa chat box letter A, letter B, letter C, or letter D. So, this one. So, ito po mga larawan na ito ay may kaugnayan doon sa paksang tinalakay natin noong nakaraang linggo tungkol sa mga karapatan ng mga kabataan. So, number 1, this one. Itong larawan kaya na ito ay pumapatungkol sa anong karapatang taglay-taglay ng bata. Is it A, right to proper birth? Letter B, right to basic education. Letter C, right to play. Or letter D, right to basic needs. So again, ang larawang ito ay pumapatungkol kaya sa anong karapatang taglay-taglay ng mga bata. Is it A, right to proper birth? B, right to basic education? C, right to play? Or letter D, right to basic needs? Ayan. So when we do speak of this picture, ito po ay pumapatungkol sa letter A po. So right to proper birth. So para po sa mga nakakatanda, so ang mga kabataan ng ating aralin last week, ang mga kabataan ay of course may karapatan na ipanganak at palakihin ng maayos ng ating mga magulang. So right to proper birth. So second, how about this one? This picture, ayan, nagbabasa yung bata. So, ano kayang karapatan or pumapatungkol kaya ang larawang ito sa anong karapatang taglay-taglay ng bata? 1, right to proper birth. It's A, right to proper birth. Letter B, right to basic education. Letter C, right to play. Or letter D, right to basic needs. So again, right to proper birth, A, right to basic education. C, right to play. Or letter D, right to basic needs. So ano kayang letter po? Ayan. So when we do speak of this right, ito ay pumapatungkol sa very good. So it's letter B, right to basic education. So ang mga kabataan, ang mga bata ay may karapatan na makapag-aral. That's why our government has been supporting all children na may free public access tayo ng basic and secondary, di ba, yung primary and secondary education. And pagdating nila sa tertiary level, anong meron? Of course, they could acquire and acquire different scholarship grants para maipagpatuloy nila ang kanilang mga pag-aaral pagdating sa kolehiyo. So, next, number 3. How about this one? Ayan. Parang ang dami niyang nasa table. So, may gatas siya, may butter siya, may itlog. Ayan. So, is it A, right to proper birth? B, right to basic education? C, right to play? Or letter D, right to basic needs? Ayan. So, tungkol kaya saan ito, yung larawan? Na pumapatungkol kaya yung larawan tungkol saan? Ayan. So, very good. So, right to basic needs. So, ang mga kabataan ay may karapatan na magkaroon ng access on to attend and even matugunan nila yung mga pangunahing pangangailangan na meron yung mga kabataan. So, this one. So, last week, diniscuss din natin yung mga iba't ibang mga institusyong panlipunan or social institution na maaaring tumulong sa mga kabataan. So, muli ito ay isang, kumbaga, you will identify what social institution ang maaring pinapatungkulan nitong phrase na ito. So this one, number 1, provide affection, companionship, and understanding. So ano kaya sa mga social institution na ating natalakay last week, yung pumapatungkol na, ito yung social institution na nagpo-provide, nagkakaloob ng affection, companionship, at pag-unawa sa mga bata. Is it A, family? B, community? C, school? Or D, church? So again, provide affection, companionship, and understanding. Is it A, family? B, community? C, school? Or D, church? Patay po sa chat box po. Maaari po kayo makilahok sa ating discussion for this afternoon. Ayan, very good. So, what social institution? Of course, letter A, it's family. So, sa pamilya, dapat nagsisimula yung affection, companionship, at pag-unawa at pagsuporta sa mga bata. How about this one? Support parent education programs. Alin sa mga social institution ang dapat sumusuporta sa mga parent education program? Is it A, family, B, community, C, school, or letter D, church? So again, support parent education programs. Is it A, family, B, community, C, school, or D, church? Yan. So when we do speak of this one, ito po ay pumapatungkol sa komunidad. So be it in the barangay level, di ba? Municipal level, that the community must support yung mga educational programs na ipinoprovide ng mga magulang. So dapat in sync ito. So kung ano yung itinuturo sa loob ng tahanan, ganun din ang pwedeng matutunan ng mga bata pag lumabas sila sa paaralan or sa kanilang mga tahanan. Next, this one, provide support and moral guidance to children. So ano kayang social institution ang maaaring makapagbigay ng support and moral guidance to children? Is it A, family, B, community, C, school, or D, church? Again, provide support and moral guidance to children. Is it A, family, B, community, C, school, or D, church? Ayan, so very good. So when we do speak of this one, good afternoon po, Ma'am Emerita Pasardosa from Camarines. Wow, good afternoon po. So Igbak Elementary School, Buhi, Camarines. So good afternoon po. So this one, of course, family. So the family should support and provide moral guidance sa mga bata. So of course, yung doing what is right and wrong, sa loob ng bahay niya muna ito natututunan. So we always provide them support and even moral guidance. And last one, provide facilities that will develop child's fullest potential. So ano kayang social institution yung nagpo-provide ng facilities that will develop child's fullest potential? Family, community, school, or church? Alin kaya dito? So, ayan. So, when we do speak of this one, the answer is, of course, yung school. So, the school should provide facilities like libraries, di ba, yung court, di ba, dapat may mga safe zones na kung saan makakapaglaro yung mga bata that develop child's fullest potential. So, sa paaralan din natin nalilinang yung mga kakayahan ng mga bata. So, this is all about the rights of the children and ano-ano yung mga social institution na maaaring makatulong. So, to continue our discussion from last week, ipagpapatuloy natin yung pag-aaral natin tungkol sa mga karapatan. By this time, we are not only speaking with children o yung mga bata, because we are also speaking of all people. So, within a given territory. So, ayan, sabi ni Mark Edward, letter C, yung kanina. So, thank you, anak. So, our lesson for this afternoon is all about civil and political rights, yung mga karapatang sibil at political na meron tayo. So, our lesson objectives for this afternoon ay, of course, one, to identify and discuss the civil and political rights of Filipinos. So, we will be focusing our attention on the civil and political rights of Filipinos. Second, explain the responsibilities suggested by or inherent in each right. So ano-ano yung mga responsibilidad na kaakibat ng mga karapatan na ito. Good afternoon, Mark Edward from, ayan, Alstein na. So thank you, anak. So in number 3, demonstrate the proper exercise of civil and political rights. So, di ba, pag naririnig natin yung civil and political rights, parang medyo nahihirapan ka agad tayo, parang kinakabahan tayo, medyo madugo, oy, political science ito. So, iisa-isahin natin, himay-himayin natin, ano nga ba yung mga karapatang sibil at political na taglay-taglay ng mga Pilipino? Okay, so the first part of the lesson is all about know your civil and political rights. So, pag-alam dun sa mga karapatang sibil at political or karapatang sibil at karapatang political. So, when we do speak of civil and political rights, Civil and political rights are class of rights that protect individuals' freedom from infringement of government, social organization, and private individuals, which ensures the ability to participate in civil and political life of the society without discrimination or repression. So, ibig sabihin, itong mga civil and political rights na ito ay binibigyan tayo ng pagkakataon na mag-participate, makilahok sa mga gawain in our civil and political life saan sa ating komunidad o sa ating bansang ginagalawan. So it is embedded in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights or UDHR. So when we do speak of the civil and political rights, one, it's embedded in the UDHR or Universal Declaration of Human Rights. So ito yung bumubuo ng iba't ibang mga klase ng karapatan. Second, it is also embedded in the ICCPR or the International Covenant on the Civil and Political Rights. So, ito ay nakapaloob din. Third, ito ay nakapaloob. So, in the Bill of Rights, in our 1987 Philippine Constitution, so article number 3 ng ating Constitution, so mababasa din natin yung mga karapatang sibil at karapatang politikal na taglay-taglay ng mga Pilipino, and of course, to different statutory legislation. So, iba't ibang mga batas na nalikha sa ating bansa. So, upang, again, magkaroon tayo ng mainam na kaalaman kung ano ba yung mga karapatang taglay natin. So, that's one. So, ano bang pagkakaiba ng civil and political rights? So when we do speak of civil and political rights, what's the difference between the two? So when we do speak of civil rights, these are rights which the law enforce at the instance of private individuals for the purpose of securing to them the enjoyment of their happiness. So ito yung mga karapatang ibinibigay sa mga civilian. So para, of course, magkaroon ng kapayapaan, magkaroon ng kasiyahan habang sila ay nabubuhay. So this one, so there are different civil rights na na-enjoy natin. So when we do speak of political rights, these are rights or are those rights which enables us to participate in the running affairs of the government either directly or indirectly. So yung mga political rights naman, ito naman ay mga karapatan na taglay-taglay natin upang tayo ay makilahok sa political arena ng ating lipunang ginagalawan. So, seemingly, when we do speak of political rights, these are granted to citizens of a specific state. Of course, for the purpose of participation in the political arena of a specific state. So, whereas when we do speak of civil rights, of course, para ma-enjoy natin yung buhay natin. So, in these rights, the civil and political rights, ito yung dalawang klase ng karapatan na taglay-taglay ng tao all throughout when we do speak. And it's embedded in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. And so, let's start. So, ano-ano nga ba yung mga civil and political rights na taglay-taglay ng mga Pilipino? So, again, ano-ano nga ba yung mga civil and political rights na taglay-taglay ng mga tao? So, when we do speak also of political rights, sometimes there are political rights which are granted due to the age of maturity. Minsan, may mga age requirement na nagagrant sa inyo due to age of maturity, yung of rightful age, depending on the constitution na sinusunod sa isang bansa. So, the first one, this one, yung civil and political rights. The first one, civil right, it is the right to life, liberty, and security of a person. So, lahat po ng mga tao, all civilian within a specific country, has the right to life, actually, liberty, may karapatan sila at kalayaan sila, and security. So, that is why, anong meron, ayan, so, the government, make it a point na mag-establish ng iba't ibang mga agencies and even institutions na makakapag-secure or makakatugon sa pagtupad at pagtamasa ng ganitong karapatan. So there are health centers, di ba? May mga paaralan, hindi ba? So, and there are different also volunteer organizations. So, right to life, liberty, and security of a person. Next, yung pangalawa po, of course, this is another civil and political right. So, this picture pertains to the right to fair trial and hearing. So, ang lahat ng tao ay binibigyan ng pagkakataon na usigin ng patas nang naaayon sa batas. So, right to fair trial and hearing. Di ba? Sabi nga, laging sinasabi that everyone is innocent until proven guilty. So, everyone has the right na dinggin ang kanyang mga kumbaga depensa or kanyang mga paliwanag bago ito hatulan na guilty sa isang bagay. So ang lahat ng tao, be it you say for example yung criminal or the accused person, ay may pagkakataon at karapatan na dinggin ang kanilang mga hinaing, ang kanilang mga statements in order for them to defend themselves in a fair procedural process. So right to fair trial and hearing. So this one, so we have already two. So right to life, liberty, and security of a person, right to fair trial and hearing. Okay, let's proceed. Okay, so this picture, yan, may nagdadasal, di ba? So meron ding parang nakikibaka. So this one represent doon sa civil and political right na kung tawagin ay freedom of speech and peaceful assembly. So ang lahat ng tao or and even lahat ng mga Pilipino has the right to speak, to express kung ano yung nasa sa loob nila, and of course as well as to peaceful assembly. So in order for them to redress and even address kung ano man yung mga suliranin na kanilang kinaharap, be it so halimbawa sa trabaho, di ba? So there is a right to peaceful assembly to create peaceful unions, di ba? So that the unions or even the workers can address kung ano yung mga problems, be it so economic, be it so social, na nararanasan nila doon sa kanilang trabaho. So say for example, salary increase, hindi ba? So this one, so freedom of speech and peaceful assembly. So that is why in the Philippines, hindi ba, hindi itinuturing na ang pagrarally ay masama. Ito ay paraan lang, ito ay ginagarantiya ng ating Constitution of Peaceful Assembly na anong meron na ilatag at ihain ng mapayapa ang mga suliraning kanilang kinakaharap or mga issue na kanilang kinakaharap. That is why we should never think of hindi dapat natin tinitignan na ang pag-aaral na isang masama unless of course ito ay nagdudulot na ng karahasan. So again, what is guaranteed by the state is the freedom of speech and peaceful assembly. So this one, it's a political right. So civil and political right. So ayan. So it's very given in the picture already. So makikita nyo naman sa larawan na anong meron. So ito ay pumapatungkol sa right to vote or right to suffrage. So karapatan ng mga mamamayan na pumili ng mga leader na magpapatakbo ng bansa, magpapatakbo kundi halimbawa ng komunidad, hindi ba? So ang lahat ng tao at the rightful age, 18 years of age, ay binibigyan ng pagkakataon, hindi ba, na makilahok sa pagpili, sa proseso ng pagpili ng mamumuno sa ating bansa. So this one, so ito ay ginagarantiya ng pamahalaan. So ang lahat ba ng mamamayan sa ating bansa ay may karapatan ng bumoto? Of course, there is an age of maturity na nire-require ang ating constitution. So this one, so right to vote. So we have freedom of speech and peaceful assembly and right to vote. Next, so that's why this coming May 2022, anong meron? Of course, we will again exercise this right, our right to vote. So kailangan nating magsuri, kailangan nating manimbang, hindi ba? So sa pagpili ng ating kumbaga ng magiging pinuno ng ating bansa sa susunod na 6 na taon. So this will be a national election this coming May 2022. Okay, next. So this picture tells us na anong meron. Yan. So very good. So when we do speak of this one, it's the right to choose religion. Karapatan nating pumili ng relihiyon natin. So no one can force us to choose and even to worship a specific religion. So it is our right. Hindi ba? Karapatan natin na pumili ng sarili nating relihiyon at kung ano man yung gusto nating paniwalaan when we do speak of religion. So lahat tayo ay may karapatan. So that is why, hindi ba, our religion ng mga bata tayo is not yet final. It depends upon you kung ano yung pagdidesisyonan nyo. But of course, there are big influences like our parents, like our society. So but again, the state can guarantee that everyone, it is the civil and political right of a person to freely choose a religion of his or her choice. Next, this one. So, right, this picture will tell us na anong meron. Right to privacy, family, home, and even correspondence. So, everyone has the right for their own private life and even family, home, or correspondence. That is why no one is entitled na, kumbaga, sirain yung private life natin. So, say for example, even the authorities, di ba, kinakailangan kapag hahalughugin nila yung bahay ninyo, kinakailangan may may search warrant na pinapakita and even arrest warrant. So what's the difference between the two? The search warrant is a warrant. So it's a legal document na nagsasaad na kung saan binibigyan ng permiso or permission ang person of authority to conduct search and investigation if there is a probable cause of a criminal activity. So, and again, finding evidence. So, ang arrest warrant naman is it's a document in which kung sino man yung pangalan nakalagay doon ay, of course, kumbaga, binibigyan ng permiso na hulihin dahil ang tao na ito is yung pangalang nakasulat doon ay involved in a criminal or illegal activity. So again, it is guaranteed by the state and even the government yung right to privacy, family, home, or correspondence ng tao. So, or ng mga Pilipino. So this one, so we have the right to choose a religion and right to privacy, family, home, or correspondence. Ayan po. So, and of course, this one, when we do speak of this picture, this represent to right to property. So, ang lahat po ng mga tao, ng mga Pilipino, may karapatan na magmay-ari ng property. So, provided that these properties are acquired through legal processes. So, di ba? So, pwedeng maaring wala tayong bahay ngayon, pero of course, since dahil ito ay ginagarantiya, bunga ng ating pagsisikap, anong meron, magkakaroon din tayo ng bahay sa hinaharap. So, may karapatan tayong magmay-ari. So, maaring ito ay bagay, maaring ito ay bahay, hindi ba? Maaring ito ay, or could be property na itinuturing. So, these are some of the civil and political rights na taglay-taglay ng mga Pilipino. So, let's see nga kung kayo ay nandyan pa or kung kayo ay nakasunod doon sa mga civil and political rights na taglay-taglay ng mga or taglay-taglay natin. So, for this activity, anong gagawin natin? You will identify ano yung civil and political right na i-discuss. Is it a right to life, liberty, security of person, right to fair trial and hearing, freedom of speech and peaceful assembly, right to vote, right to privacy, family, home, or correspondence, right to choose a religion, or right to own a property. So this one, I have a situation here. Okay, so situation. Marlon was a suspect to a kidnapping incident. So si Marlon daw ay suspect sa kidnapping incident and was given a counsel before interrogation. So binigyan siya ng pagkakataon na irepresenta ng isang counsel or abogado bago ang interrogation. So this situation is a manifestation of what civil and political right. Again, Marlon was a suspect to a kidnapping incident and was given a counsel before interrogation. So, siya ay suspect sa isang kidnapping incident, but bago siya humarap doon sa interrogasyon, binigyan siya ng pagkakataon na irepresenta ng isang abogado or counsel. So, yung sitwasyon na ito ay nagpapakita ng anong civil and political right. Is it right to life, liberty, and security of a person, right to fair trial and hearing, freedom of speech and peaceful assembly, right to vote, right to privacy, family, home, or correspondence, right to choose a religion, or right to own a property. Sige nga. Ayan. Para sa mga kasama ko for this afternoon. Ayan. So when we do speak of this situation, this is, of course, right to fair trial and hearing. So karapatan. So binibigyan si Marlon ng pagkakataon at ng karapatan na dinggin ang kanyang kaso with a fair process na kasama niya yung counsel or even yung abogado. So very good. So when we do speak of this one. Next, this situation. Merly's Christian friends respect her religious beliefs as a Muslim. Again, Merly's Christian friends respect her religious beliefs as a Muslim. So ang sitwasyon na ito ay nagpapakita ng anong civil and political right. So yung mga Christian, yung mga Catholic or Christianong mga kaibigan ni Merly ay inirerespeto yung mga paniniwala niya bilang isang Muslim. So is it right to life, liberty, and security of a person? Right to fair trial and hearing? Freedom of speech and peaceful assembly? Right to vote? Right to privacy, family, home, or correspondence? Right to choose a religion or right to own a property? Okay, so very good. So, okay lang po, Enrico Dalupe. So, this one, again, Merly's Christian friends respect her religious beliefs as a Muslim. The answer is right to choose a religion. So, very good. So, of course, yung mga kaibigan ni Merly na Kristiyano, nire-respeto yung mga paniniwala ni Merly na bilang isang Muslim. So, this is the right to, a manifestation, an example of the right to choose of a religion. Next, Miriam bought a piece of land in the province. After it was fully paid, she demanded for its title. So, si Miriam, nakabili siya ng kapirasong lupa sa probinsya. Nang matapos niya itong bayaran, humingi siya ng pahintulot na kunin na yung titulo ng lupa na meron siya. So, this situation is a manifestation of what kind of civil and political right? Is it right to life, liberty, and security of a person? Right to fair trial and hearing? Freedom of speech and peaceful assembly? Right to vote? Right to privacy, family, home, or correspondence? Right to choose a religion? Or right to own a property? So again, si Miriam, nakabili siya ng piece of land in the province. So after it was fully paid, matapos niya na itong bayaran, she demanded for its title. Hiningi niya or gusto niya nang hingiin yung titulo ng kanyang lupa. So ano yung right or civil and political right na ipinapakita ng sitwasyon na ito. Ayan. So, very good. So, the answer is right to own a property. So, very good. So, kahit babae si Miriam, may karapatan pa rin siya na magmay-ari ng isang property. So, next. This one. Despite being an active union leader who lobbies the rights and benefits of workers in his company, Wilson retained in his position at work. So again, the situation, despite an active union leader, si Wilson ay isang active union leader na ipinaglalaban ang karapatan at mga benepisyo ng mga manggagawa at ng kanyang mga katrabaho sa kanyang kumpanyang pinagtatrabahuhan. So sa kabila ng ito, anong meron, si Wilson ay nananatiling manggagawa sa kumpanyang kanyang pinapasukan. So itong sitwasyon na ito ay nagpapakita ng anong civil and political right. Right to life, liberty and security of a person, right to fair trial and hearing, freedom of speech and peaceful of assembly, right to vote, right to privacy, family home, or correspondence, right to choose a religion, or right to own a property. So again, despite being an active union leader who lobbies the rights and benefits of workers in his company, Wilson retained in his position at work. So the answer is, ayan, so very good. This is freedom of speech or right to speech and peaceful assembly. So hindi naman ibig sabihin, no, na si Wilson ay isang active member ng kanyang or active union leader doon na naglalabi ng mga karapatan at benepisyo at kapakanan ng mga manggagawa sa kanyang kumpanya ay tatanggalin na siya. So of course, this is a manifestation of right to speech and peaceful assembly as long as Wilson together with the union members ay idinadaos ito sa mapayapang paraan. So, pakikipag-usap, pakikipaglabi. So, very good. So, last one. Nilo has the right to question his neighbor who listened intensively to his conversation on the telephone. So, again, si Nilo, nako may marites. So, when we do speak of this one, si Nilo raw ay may karapatan na tanungin yung kanyang kapitbahay na laging nakikinig doon sa telephone conversation niya. So, this situation, is a manifestation of what civil and political right? Is it right to life, liberty, and security of a person? Right to fair trial and hearing, freedom of speech and peaceful assembly, right to privacy or right to vote, right to privacy, family, home, or correspondence, right to choose a religion, or right to own a property. Yan. So, may mga marites. So, ayan. Very good. So, when we do speak of this one, this is right to privacy, family, home, or correspondence. Diba? So, lalo yung mga marites dyan, no? Diba? So, the state will guarantee the right to privacy of a specific, of a civilian, a person, or a family, or yan, family, home, or correspondence, na karapatan ng mga tao na magkaroon ng pribadong buhay. So, kaya, nako mga marites, ingat-ingat ng konti. So, let's continue our discussion. So, we're done already with knowing our civil and political rights. So, the second part of the lesson is, of course, to be responsible and exercise our rights properly. So, dahil ngayon alam na natin yung mga civil and political rights na taglay-taglay natin, ano naman dapat yung ginagawa natin doon sa mga civil and political rights na meron tayo? So, ano yung sinasabi nung number 2? At this point, after knowing our civil and political rights, ano yung kailangan natin gawin? Dapat maging responsable tayo sa pag-execute at pag-exercise ng mga karapatan na ito. So, this one. So, there are given civil and political rights. Of course, we will assume, ano kaya yung mga responsibilities na dapat taglayin or paano ba dapat yung ginagawa natin when we do speak of this civil and even political rights. So, this one. So, yung una nga, we have the right to life, liberty, and security of a person. So, This has been guaranteed by the state na karapatan nating mabuhay, may karapatan tayong maging malaya, at yung seguridad natin. And ito ay pinangangalagaan at pinoprotektahan ng ating bansa, ng ating estado. So, ano yung mga responsibilities natin? Of course, our responsibilities will be, responsibility to work for your own self. So, yes, may karapatan tayong mabuhay, pero hindi dapat tayo umaasa lang kung sa pamahalaan, di ba? So, hingi tayo ng hingi, hingi tayo ng hingi ng tulong sa pamahalaan. However, hindi naman natin tinutulungan din yung sarili natin. So, it is our responsibility to work for ourselves and for our family and not completely rely on the state for your source of living. So, we have the right to life, di ba? So, karapatan nating mabuhay. So, that has been guaranteed by the state. But again, we need to work for it. So, sabi nga sa children's right, there is the free right to basic education. So anong gagawin ng mga mag-aaral? Of course, we need to maximize these opportunities at these rights na ipinagkakaloob sa atin ng pamahalaan. So mag-aaral tayo ng mabuti, di ba? So we engage into different educational programs like ETUlay, di ba? Sa mga out of school youth at mga gustong bumalik sa pag-aaral kagaya ng ALS na andito po kami. So, para akayin kayo muli. So, in that way, you are helping yourself, di ba? Na hindi lang maging reliant doon sa pamahalaan, but instead, we maximize different opportunities or we maximize our opportunities na ipinagkakaloob ng pamahalaan. So, again, we have this kind of civil and political right, and we also have responsibilities to fulfill. So that's one. Second, right to fair trial and hearing. Karapatan natin na magkaroon ng pantay na pagrerepresenta at due process kapag tayo ay nasasangkot sa isang maling gawain, hindi ba? Upang depensahan ng ating sarili. So what could be our responsibility due to this civil and political right? Ano kaya yung responsibility na pwede nating gawin? So of course, since we have this kind of right, it is our responsibility to face claims and allegations. Diba? So may karapatan tayo niyan. Lahat karapatan ng tao na magkaroon ng right to fair trial and hearing. So, hence, anong meron? Hindi dapat tayo natatakot to face the claims and allegation. Anyway, there is equality before the law. Diba? So, we are not proven guilty. We are proven innocent unless proven. Kumbaga, we are always innocent unless proven guilty. Diba? So, and of course, hindi tayo dapat nagsisinungaling. So, kung ano lang yung totoo. So, we need to be responsible to face claims, allegations, and not to bring false witnesses. And so, when we do speak of this civil and political rights, so it is our responsibility na harapin ito ng buong puso, ng buong panggap, ng buong, kumbaga, ng buong loob. Dahil nga, of course, kung wala naman talaga tayong ginagawang masama, of course, we will be guaranteed of this right to fair trial and even hearing. So we are always innocent unless proven guilty. Or until, but unless proven guilty. So next, number 3. So pangatlo na po tayo. Freedom of speech and peaceful assembly. Freedom of speech and peaceful assembly. So, sabi nga kanina, di ba, yung case ni Wilson. So, may karapatan tayong magdaos ng ipahayag kung ano man yung nasa sa loob natin. And of course, magdaos ng mapayapang assembly, hindi ba, or pagpupulong. So, ano naman po yung responsibility? So, kaakibat nito ng karapatan natin sa pagpapahayag, of course, we need to be responsible of what we are saying. We make sure na ito ay hindi nakakasakit sa ating kapwa at hindi bina-violate din yung karapatan na meron sila. So it is our responsibility to tell the truth. So yung bawang katotohanan lamang. And of course, kahit ito ay totoo, we should tell it, kumbaga, in a peaceful and nice way. So of course, na hindi nakakasakit ng damdamin ng ibang tao at of course hindi lumalabag sa karapatan ng ibang tao. Baka lagi nating iniisip karapatan nating magsalita, it's our freedom to express, pero minumura na pala natin yung ibang tao. No, it's not. So we need to be responsible of holding this freedom of speech or right to speech or freedom of expression. So we need to be responsible to tell the truth and not to malign or harm the person. So hindi dapat tayo nananakit ng ating kapwa. So if there is freedom to peaceful assembly, karapatan natin na makapagdaos at makabuo ng isang assembly or pagpupulong na kung saan maaari nating sabihin at imungkahi ang ating mga issue at nararanasan na problema. Of course, hindi dapat tayo pupunta doon para mambato, mangrayot, di ba? So, that is why going outside at mag-rally ay hindi naman isang maling gawain. It is guaranteed by the state, provided that it should be a peaceful assembly. So, next, fourth, right to vote. Ayan. So, karapatan nating bumoto. So, it is our right to vote. So, ano naman kaya yung responsibility natin? Kung ang lahat ng tao, specifically at their age of maturity, has the right to vote, anong pinaka-responsibility natin? It is our responsibility to vote wisely. So, responsibilidad po nating pumili at bumoto ng maayos. So, ano kailangan natin gawin? Paano tayo boboto ng maayos? Of course, kailangan nating magsuri. We look for their platforms. So, tingnan natin yung mga plataforma, adhikain at advokasya ng mga tatakbong pangulo, pangalawang pangulo, senador, up until mayor or even party list. Di ba? Ang dami-daming party list ngayon. So, ano-ano nga ba yung mga isinusulong nila? Di ba? We need to be responsible in voting, in executing our right to vote. Di ba? We need to vote wisely by means of what? We need to be critical. Kailangan nating magsuri. So, next, aside from looking from their advocacies, looking for their platforms, ano pang pwede nating gawin? We look for their contributions. We look for their achievements, di ba? Since this is a public position, anong meron? Ano kaya yung mga ginawa nila with regard doon sa public positions na na-acquire na nila from the past? So are they exemplary? So yung mga senador, gumawa ba sila ng batas o wala silang nagawang batas? Hindi ba? So of course, senators' primary duty is to legislate laws, 'di ba? Kaya nga yan legislative body. So hindi yan dapat kung ano-ano lang, joke lang. Kung ano-ano yung ginagawa, hindi ba? So senador pero walang ginawang batas, 'di ba? Senador pero wala lang, joke lang. So that is why we need to be critical. Kailangan nating magsuri. So, and of course, we need to protect our votes. Diba? Protektahan natin yung boto natin. So, hindi dahil binigyan ka ng noodles, binigyan ka ng halaga or ng halimbawa ng pera binili yung boto mo, hindi natin ibebenta yung boto natin. So, yes, there are situations in the Philippines na mababalitaan natin na ganyan, but again, we need to educate them na anong meron, na yung 500 pesos na matatanggap natin, kapalit ng boto nun, 6 na taon. If this is a national election, 6 years, nababawiin yan nung nagbigay sa iyo. So that's why we need to protect our votes. Hindi natin ito ipinagbibili. Diba? Not to sell it or cheat on election. So we do not also engage into flying voter activities, di ba? So, wag tayong mandaya. So, in that way, we participate, di ba, in the selection of our country's leaders. Di ba? So, in a democratic form of government, just like the Philippines, anong meron? even though politics is not the business of all people, but again, still, tayo yung susi para magkaroon ng maayos na leader or mamumuno sa ating bansa. That's why we need to vote wisely. So magsuri, batay sa advokasya, batay sa mga plataforma, batay sa kanilang mga kakayahanan, di ba? Sana hindi tayo bumoto ng mga wala naman talagang nagawa, di ba? Yung mga nagsisinungaling lang. Hindi, joke lang. So, this one, we need to vote wisely, of good credibility, and even of good standing. So, this one. Next, civil and political right to privacy, family, home, or correspondence. So, ano yung responsibility na nakaatang dyan? Of course, it is our responsibility to guard ourselves. Diba? So, protektahan natin yung sarili natin at all times. If we want to secure our private life, diba? We have the responsibility to guard ourselves. Diba? So, halimbawa, right to privacy, pero post tayo ng post on our social media accounts, wala din. Hindi na private life yun. Once we post it in different social media accounts na meron tayo, then therefore, it turned out to be a public domain. Diba? Nakapost na. Kaya nga siya, social media. Diba? So, may mga pa-post pa tayo at the moment, ATM. Eventually, kumbaga tinalikuran natin yung responsibility natin na pangalagaan. Di ibig sabihin when we do speak of at the moment, nalaman na nila kung nasaan ka, di walang tao ngayon sa bahay niyo. 'Di ba? So halimbawa, magbakasyon kayo buong family, 'di ba? So nag-post ka online. So nalaman na walang tao sa bahay niyo, and that's the time to pick off. Saan na pumapasok sa bahay niyo at gawan kayo ng masamang gawin. Hello po, Ma'am Veli Ricarte Gallardo. So, good afternoon po. So again, it is our responsibility to guard ourselves and even our family. Di ba? Yung mga sasakyan, madalas napapansin ko when I handled media and information literacy in senior high school, di ba yung mga sticker na nilagay, mama, papa, baby, kuya, ate, nandun pa yung mga stickers. Di, right at that instant, malalaman na nung mga madadaanan ninyo na yun yung mga members ng family ninyo na laman could be nung sasakyan na yun. So, your life could be at danger. So, again, in this civil and political right, yung right to privacy, family, home, or correspondence, again, it is our responsibility to guard yourself, your family, and even to unlawful or illegal activities. So, wag rin tayong gagawa ng mga illegal activities. Next, another civil and political right to choose a religion. Hello po, good afternoon po, Ma'am Gallardo. So, ano naman yung responsibility natin in having our right to choose a religion? What is our responsibility? Di ba yung kanina kay Merly, sa mga Christian friends niya, it is our responsibility also. We have the responsibility to respect other beliefs and even tradition. So, it doesn't mean na may religion ka, yun lang yung religion na nag-i-exist. Kaya nga hindi ba there are different religious wars na nangyari over the course of history. It's just because those people wanted to manifest that their religion is the superior religion over the other. So, hindi dapat ganon. So, we need to manifest religious tolerance that we have our own religion and other people have also other religion, and that we can actually coexist kahit na may magkaiba tayong relihiyon. So, just imagine a classroom, di ba? Pagpasok mo naman sa isang classroom, alam mo, June 5, di ba, pagpasukan. Imagine, di ba, me as a teacher, pagpasok ko yun, I'm always looking that these students coming from different families, they were raised up differently. Magkakaiba sila. Magkakaiba yung paniniwala at kultura sa bahay. Magkakaiba yung relihiyon na meron sila. And yet, at the end of the school year, these students, 40 students within a confined classroom, naging magkakaibigan. Naging isang klase, hindi ba? So at the end of the school year. So kung kayang gawin ito ng mga estudyante, bakit hindi natin kayang gawin paglabas natin ng classroom? Hindi ba? So we need to practice tolerance. Kung ano man yung pinaniniwalaan natin, we need to respect. So, at the end of the line, anong meron? Magkaiba lang siguro yung tawag dun sa mga supreme beings na wino-worship natin. 'Di ba? We have God, they have Allah, they have Siddhartha Gautama or known to be as Buddha. But at the end of the line, we need to see the similarities or commonalities na meron ang mga relihiyon na ito. 'Di ba? At the end of the line, these religions taught us ng anong meron, how to become a good person. Hindi ba? So, this one. Right to own a property. So, this is the last one. So, right to own a property. Salamat po, Ma'am Gallardo, for your heart reacts po. So, right to own a property, ano yung responsibility natin? It is our responsibility. Siyempre, may pagkakataon tayo at may karapatan tayo magmay-ari. But of course, those things or yung mga gusto nating pagmay-arian, sana hindi ito galing. It is our responsibility not to buy or keep illegal properties and acquired properties illegally. So, hindi dapat. Ayun po. So, let's see what you've learned for this day. So, for this afternoon. So, I have here situations. So, titingnan natin, is it a deal or no deal? So, you can type there, deal ba or no deal? Agree ba kayo or hindi kayo nag-agree? So kapag nag-agree kayo, deal. Pag di kayo nag-agree, no deal. So 1, choose where you want to live, study or work as long as you do not step in others' rights. So again, choose where you want to live, study or work. So kahit saan ka mabuhay, mag-aral, magtrabaho, as long as you do not step in other rights. So wala kang sinasagkaang mga karapatan or karapatan ng ibang tao. Thank you po, Ma'am Gallardo. Very inspiring talk from you. Thank you po ng madami. So, is it a deal or no deal? The answer is, of course, it's deal. So, we have the right to decide on our life as long as we are responsible and again, we do not step in others' rights po. Next, vote wisely during election. Choose the candidate who gives groceries to your community. parang okay na yung unang statement no? Pero pagdating dun sa pangalawang statement yung pagdugtong. Ayan, sabi ni Mark, yan, deal nung una. So, how about yung pangalawa? Vote wisely during elections. Choose the candidate who gives you groceries. Who gives groceries to your community, yung nagbibigay lang ng groceries. Ayan. The answer is, yan, of course, no deal. So, wag tayo magpadala sa grocery lang. So, why? Because it's the future of the Philippines. Yan. Thank you, Mark. No deal. Wrong. Tama, wag tayo magpapadala, hindi ba? Doon sa saging. sa noodles na nakabalot, hindi ba? So, it's no deal. So, ayan, thank you, Ma'am Gallardo. It's no deal. Kasi, it's the, yung future ng Philippines, we need to elect leaders who are capable of leading the country, especially during this time of pandemic, hindi ba? So, hindi tayo pandemic, pero ang solusyon natin ay baril. So, hindi. So, we need to select and put in place the best leaders of our country. So, tulungan din natin ang ating pamahalaan by simply electing leaders who are capable of leading the country. Hindi yung nabuhay lang kapag may election, di ba? All throughout, walang ginawa, tapos nabuhay kapag election. Aray ko. Next, force your best friend to join your religion. Force your best friend to join your religion. Deal or no deal? Ba, may best friend ka? Pinipilit mo siya na maging to join your religion. Is it deal or no deal? Yan. So, very good. So, when we do speak of this one, it's no deal. So, we do not force. Kahit pa best friend natin sila, di ba? Parang bata, pag hindi ka nasunod, hindi kayo bati. So, hindi ganon. Ayan, no deal, sabi ni Mark Edward. So, thank you. So, force, you you do not force someone to believe on what you are trying to believe in. So if they believe, it's based on their free will. After election din, yan, sabi ni Ma'am Gallardo, yan, tama. Yung sa number 2 kanina, after election, di na kayo kilala, tama. Ngayon, hello sila. Hi, hello. Sila ngayon. Diba? So, we need to select those leaders na kumbaga, makikilala tayo up until hanggang sa dulo. Hindi yung kilala nilang kayo kasi kailangan ng boto. Tama. Thank you, ma'am. So, this one. Next. When you are sick, you can consult doctors at the community clinic and avail free medicine. Deal or no deal? When you are sick, you can consult doctors at the community clinic and avail of free medicine. The answer is deal. So, this is part of kumbaga, right to life. Ayan. So, tabi ni Ma'am Gallardo yung kanina, it's their choice, even he or she is your best friend. Tama po. So, this one, it's part of your right to life security. So, deal. So, very good. Thank you, Ma'am Gallardo. Deal. So, last one. Resist arrest even when you are shown the warrants if you believe you are not guilty. So, kailangan ba, pinakitaan ka na ng warrant, alam mo sa sarili mo that you are not guilty of it, pero may warrant na mag-i-resist mo ba? Manlalaban ka ba? Wag. The answer is no deal, of course. No deal. So, sabi nga, there is a right to fair trial and hearing. So, if you know that you are not guilty out of that, then have balls and even guts to face. Yan. So, yan. So, thank you, Ma'am Gallardo. It's no deal. So, ayun po. So, I'll end this session, this afternoon session, all about civil and political rights with a quote. Hindi ito quote ni Spider-Man. So, pero narinig na natin ito kay Spidey, hindi ba? So, specifically, the No Way Home. So, but this quote is associated to Voltaire. At ano yung sinasabi ni Voltaire? With great powers comes with great responsibility. Yes, we have great powers, and those powers lie where it lies doon sa karapatan na taglay-taglay natin. So ano kailangan natin gawin? There is a great responsibility na nakaatang din at kaakibat nito. So when we exercise our rights, we also exercise our responsibility being a social person. So, thank you po. With that, so I am Tutor Gilbert from SDO Les Piñas po. Kasama ko po every Thursday si Tutor Maria, also from the same SDO Les Piñas. And we are always with you every Thursday for Alternative Learning System Learning Strand number 5, Understanding Self and Society po. So to Mark, to Ma'am Gallardo, thank you for being with me this afternoon. Maraming salamat din po sa participation. So stay tuned. Digital citizenship will be up next. So magkita-kita po muli tayo next Thursday po. Muli, maraming salamat and God bless you all. This is your Tutor Gilbert. Magkita-kita po tayo next Thursday. Salamat po.
Ang husay naman! Natapos mo ang iyong tutorial session kasama ang iyong mahusay na ETUlay tutor. May bago ka bang natutuhan? I-share na yan gamit ang hashtag #ETUlayLevelUp. Huwag aalis ha dahil may susunod pang programa na pwede mo ring panoorin at salihan dahil naghihintay na ang iyong mga tutors. Happy learning dito sa ETUlay!